Welcome back to the HGC Finals at BlizzCon, where our crowd is electric in here, especially after that last game. Team Liquid have proven there's not just 2 teams left in this round of 4. There are all 4 here to play, and Dread, the crowd is very, very one-sided.
It is very much behind Team Liquid here, and I think that is definitely understandably so. But it should be noted that I feel like after that last game and how big of a swing we saw within the momentum of the games itself and how loud this crowd is getting on the side of Liquid, I would be terrified if I am Gen G, and I would not be surprised if that is getting to them, because getting up to that stage at this point in time, like when I was playing up here last a long, long time ago, when they would scream for my opponent's success, it literally shakes the ground. Like, you have no control. You can't go, guys, zone it out, zone it out. Your entire body is affected by the hype being brought here.
Yeah, this truly is where you've got to just zone it out as best you can, but it's basically impossible. The Korean teams, though, they've been in this situation before. Yep. They know that this is a factor when they start losing deaths, start losing games.
It is kind of a sad thing to say, but yeah, when you go to these Western lands, you're typically going to have the Western teams being cheered for, right? And so Korea's used to that. They're just going to go ahead and just focus on themselves, be a unit of 5, and try to make sure that they are able to respond to Team Liquid.
But Kaldor, this roster of Team Liquid, at the same time, you could say maybe that would get to them nerves-wise, but for them, it feels like it's only fueling them.
Oh, they're feeding off the crowd, like, immensely. Like, yesterday, they played against Heroes hard, and they played against, like, a hostile crowd, so to say, entire crowd cheering for the opponent. Today, it's the exact opposite, and they are enjoying every second of that.
Yeah, I'm in A now.
But just imagine where they are coming from. I mean, this is insane. They're 1 map away from maybe even making it to the grand final, taking down Gen G. And that's the team where everyone was talking about, do they even deserve to be here? That was a big story in Europe when they just clutched it out as a #2 slot, and everybody was saying, hey, we want the leftovers and Fnatic here. Liquid, we're not so sure. They were saying, like, nah, you just wait. And now they're proving everyone wrong that doubted them.
Well, 2 battlegrounds for each side. The favored battlegrounds have been taken away. There's only what remains, the favored battleground for both of the teams, and that's a Tomb of the Spider Queen. I definitely think that that's where we're going to be going for this next one. It just seems like it's going to be Braxis Holdout. Look! There's a tacit agreement in Korea that you don't have to ban Braxis Holdout between the top teams in Korea because no one picks Braxis Holdout, and Team Liquid themselves banned Braxis Holdout at 2. Team Liquid at 2.
It gets like we're all in A now, right?
Yeah. But in Europe, we don't touch this battleground even. Sometimes you have the bans, but there are days where it literally just goes through. Braxis Holdout just changes the dynamic of what you experience in Heroes of the Storm, and Team Liquid with the map choice illustrates they got something.
I love it. I absolutely love calling out a team and that unspoken agreement of the Korean teams to go, you know what, we're not even going to look at it. We're not going to force that ban outward. We're just going to respect one another and not go to the Braxis holdout, because it does change so much of how the game is played. Liquid here very much calling it out, but things we got to be looking for, the Hanzo, the Garrosh already taken off the table. Hanzo very high value, and I'm not going to lie, pretty surprised to see a first pick of Nubarak here from Gen G. Though it makes it over the walls, he's very vulnerable on those points.
Yrel top lane, Medivh suddenly becomes important. Medivh has not been banned out here. Morales even becomes a support that you can run there.
Oh, wow.
Tyrael and Yrel instantly comes out for Team Liquid. Yrel destroys the top lane on this battleground.
And both of them, again, like, they are great in those 5 versus 5 team fights as we saw in the last game, those layer defenses that we are seeing from the 2 heroes, and you have the mobility. Brad is talking about the Nubarak that makes it over the walls. Guess what? Same is true for the 2 picks that we just saw on the side of the Europeans.
And that's going to be a focus through both teams throughout this draft. That is how Braxis holdout, it helps the mobility when it looks at Shrine Control 1 and 2. And look at this, another characters in theory that have the opportunity to be able to make that happen. But let's be real here.
This has to be Kyocha.
It has to be Kyocha. On that Mouth Hill, because last time Rich, you know, it didn't look too good, and focusing him down was very much the focus. But I'm not going to lie, I'm very surprised to see the lowest priority onto the Hanzo. Not only can he make it over the walls pretty well, but mainly just his control. He has independent wave clear very well, but on those points, if you're going to sit there and take a couple of scatter arrows, it only takes about 2 before you just die, no matter which hero you are.
And you can build on that too. You can go straight in for the boss if you go full scatter arrow build. You can delete that in a second if you get a kill or 2. Hanzo very strong on this battleground. I'm curious about how this Mouth is going to pay out. Mouthfield with Die alone can actually do pretty darn well against Hero, and typically going to have that full one-on-one. But I'm still wondering, like, what does Team Liquid have that's going to give them that rotation in that top lane?
But what about Phoenix? We have to remember Phoenix also has a unique standpoint on this map, and that's
True.
clearing the Zerg. But does Gen G realize this? Because this is not played in Korea.
Yeah, and it very much could be that planet cracker to be able to deal with that. But I will raise that I feel like the most successful teams when it comes to Brax's holdout are 1 to 2 philosophies is held. 2 solo laners that hold their own with a 3-man kill potential, or it's a 3-2 with a heavy amount of rotation on shifting your priority and where you end up finding that pressure outward. And Gen G right now, I think, has an opportunity to still stick with that kind of 3-2 limited pressure. But if they fail to do that and they go for a 1-3-1, I feel like Liquid's got the far better kill potential and skirmish capability.
It's not only that, Liquid is even going for more displacement right now. We've already talked about the mobility on the heroes, and we have a Junkrat in the mix as well. And Gen G just throws it down again and says, all right, we're going for it for the second time in this series. We're going to put Rich on Alarak again. And also, together with the Karazim, they use that telekinesis into the 7-sided several times, and they believe in it again.
Oh boy.
One thing to look at when looking at the Alarak and why it's so valuable on this battleground is not only are the small skirmishes very, very prominent, but then because of the shrine control and being able to telekinesis off of that.
All right.
You can't die to Alarak, I guess, if you've got 3 tanks?
Seems like a bold move, and very much, I think, again, catering to that 1-3-1 philosophy that I was saying teams oftentimes can kind of adopt. Have Dahaka, have Yrel hold their own, and have the Junkrat and friends kind of skirting around. But you can see this crowd is all behind Liquid.
Yeah, Gen G's not just facing the 5 members, 6 counting Zeus of Team Liquid. They are facing an army here at BlizzCon.
And if there was any question if Liquid is feeding off that crowd or not, that shot of Nurok definitely answered that.
Very true. Very true.
I will say, going into this draft, being at the breaking point, game number 5 here on this series, I thought there was going to be 2 things that were necessary based on what we had already seen before, right? Rich has to find himself on a comfort if they're going to be in a comfortable position throughout this game.
Okay.
Alarak, let's be real. And then you pointed out before, in games 1 and 4, Arcaner, which hero is he going to be on? Though this is the selection of Liquid, by no means is this a very aggressive Arcaner hero and opportunity through this game. So I feel like, though it is the clever map pick of Braxis, I still feel like Gen G got a lot of what they wanted in a good comp here.
Guys, this is it. This is for the grand finals. Let's get it going. Game 5 between Team Liquid and Gen G.
I'm nervous.
I have trouble imagining a tournament where Gen G doesn't make it to the grand final, but Liquid is so close.
I mean, we're here in game number 5, and it's do or die. Someone has to go, man. And is it going to be enough here with the 3 tanks coming up for Team Liquid?
I don't know.
I'm so confused, because like, when you're running 3 tanks, you want to be on even footing all the way through, right? You can't fall behind. Dahaka's going to try and help out with that. But where do you set the laning phase? You're going to run a 2-3 rotation here? Are you going to be trying to move Yrel? I'm so curious what Team Liquid has in store.
Do you think the next problem is Arcana? We talked about him on Tracer, on the Kerrigan, those high fee heroes, high mobile. Now he's playing Dahaka here. Is Liquid really gonna pull it off? Can they make that happen against Gen G, who everyone expected in the grand final to be that final boss of BlizzCon?
Here we go. On the left side, the Korean team. Sake to play Karazim. Kyocha on Mouthfield. Rich on Alarak, Reset on Phoenix, and Test on a new Brack. Give it up for the Korean team. It's Gen G!
Brack said hold out to the right. They made